Number one, the word sequence is now that means a set of events, action, uh, and the numbers which have a particular order and which uh, lead a lead particular result. For example, he described the sequence of events leading up to the broad. Number two, the word concerto is now that means is a piece of music for one or more solo instrument played in with an orchestra. For example, piano concerto. Number three, the word precede is verb that means to happen before something or come before something or somebody in order. For example, she preceded uh, her speech with a vote of thanks to committee. Number four, the word lecture in or on something is verb to give a talk or series of talks to a group of people on. Mệt ghê á, bực mình thiệt luôn á. Number four, the word lectures in or on something is verb that means to give a talk or a series of talks to a group of people on a subject, especially as a way of teaching in a university or college. For example, she lectures in Russian literature. Number five, the word lobby is now that means a large area inside the entrance of public building where people can wait and meet. For example, she can wait me at a lobby of a hotel. The word refreshment is now that means drinks and small amount of food uh, that are provided or sold to people in public place or at public event. The word refreshment is now that means refreshment, drinks and small amount of food that are provided or sold to people in a public place or public event. For example, light refreshments will be reserved during break. The word pass is now that means an official document or ticket that shows that you have the right to enter or leave a place, to travel on a bus or train. For example, there is no admittance without a security pass. The word escort is now that means a person or group of people or vehicles that travels with somebody or something in order to protect or guide them. In order to the word is cost that means is a person, especially a man, who takes somebody to a particular social event. For example, the gold bullion was transported under police escort. The word accompany is verb that means to travel or go somewhere with somebody. For example, I must ask you to accompany me to the public station. The word cooperation is now that means willingness to be helpful and do as you are asked. For example, I would be grateful for your cooperation in our hotel business. The word purchase is verb that means something that you have bought. For example, I will purchase a gift for my mom on her birthday. The word checkout is now that means the place where you pay for the things that you are buying in a supermarket. For example, why can they have more checkouts open? The word receipt for something is now that means is a piece of paper that shows that goods or service have been paid for. For example, can I have a receipt, please? The word return is verb that means the action of giving, putting, or sending somebody or something back. For example, he had to return some of money which he borrowed me. The word renowned is adjective that means famous and respected. For example, the woman was an hour as an actress. The word to finance is verb that means to provide money for projects. For example, a company has financed a large amount of money for a charity. The word turn out is now that means the number of people who attend a particular event. For example, this year's festival attracted record turnout. The word breed is now that means a public celebration of a special day or event, usually with bands in the street and decorated vehicle. For example, he invited me to join his fashion parade. The word mayor is a noun that means the head of the government of a town or city elected, elected by the public. For example, I'm very like a mayor of New York. The word barbecue is now that means a frame for cooking food on over an open fire at outdoor. For example, um, I put another stick uh, on a barbecue in order to the word barbecue that means an outdoor meal or party when food is cooked in this way. For example, let's have a barbecue. The word firework is now that means a small device containing powder that burn or explode and produce bright colored light and low noise, used especially at a celebration. For example, international firework competition take place in Vietnam every 2 years. The word season is now that means a period of time that is spent doing a particular activity. For example, the man had a heavy session last night. The word hit first is adverb that means if you do something head first, you become involved into too quickly without having time to think about it carefully. For example, the woman dived head first into the pool. The tour is verb that means to travel around a place. For example, I and my friend will be touring in Hanoi this winter. The word luxury is now that means a thing that is expensive and enjoyable but not essential. For example, the man was leading a life of luxury in America. The word recipe for something is now that means a set of instruction that tell you how to cook something and the ingredients. The word recipe for something is now um, uh, that means a set of instruction that tells you how to cook something and the in- ingredients you need for it. For example, I'm not a great cook, but I can follow a recipe pretty well. The word assemble is now that means um, to fit together or separate part of something. For example, a piece of furniture. For example, the shelves are easy to assemble. The word measures somebody or something for something is the verb that means to find the size, quantity of something in standard unit or a linking verb are not used in the progressive tense to be a particular size, length, amount. For example, the main bedroom measure 12 ft by 15 ft. The word ingredient of or in or from something uh, is now that means one of things from which something is made, especially uh, one of the foods that are used together to make a particular dish. For example, combine all the ingredients in a large bowl. The word bet something for somebody is verb that means to cook food in an oven without actually quick or fast. I will bake a cake for my boyfriend on his birthday. The word taste is now that means the sense you have that allow you to recognize different food and drink when you put them in your mouth. For example, her first taste of life in a big city. The word hang up is verb that means to finish a telephone conversation. For example, I said goodbye Thanh Ngân and hang up. The word speech on or about something is now that means a formal talk that a person gives to an audience. For example, Itchiel had to give a short speech to the rest of the class.